Hi, and welcome to another episode of Fitness and Friends. I am your humble host, Dr. Bob Ruano. I like that new intro music, though, Leo. That's pretty good. Hey, so I've been doing this show for about 4 months now, and I'll get messages, I'll run into people, and everyone knows somebody who's got a pretty good story. But one name kept coming across my radar, so I obviously had to reach out to him. And this gentleman here, now getting to know him, I knew him from the gym, and I knew he was an animal training, but I didn't know his background story. And again, that's what this program's all about. He's a walking dichotomy, because this guy has hit the highest levels other than the Olympics, an All-American collegiate wrestler, but he's also surpassed the 500-pound mark as well. So the highs and the lows and how those two kind of interact with one another, we're gonna find out. And I'm of course speaking of Chris Johnson. So Chris, welcome to the show, my man. Thanks for agreeing to come on. Yeah, man. So like I said, a couple of people reached out to me and said, you've got to talk with Chris about his story. I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't know you had a story. But Mike Shep, he was one of the first ones to reach out, and I was like, okay, that
was the one
that piqued my interest. Yeah, of course, the Fatches.
Oh yeah,
James said if I mentioned Fatches, that would be a little something for you.
So fat, it was great.
So. Yeah, Lee said just a little bit of the background nuggets. Collegiate wrestler.
Yeah.
Heavyweight collegiate wrestler. All-American.
Yeah. 2-time All-American. So
maybe it's like to give us a little background.
Okay.
So take me back. I understand you spent some time in Leavenworth.
Yeah. Yes. In the city.
Oh, in the city.
Not the prison. No, both my parents were correction officers. So I grew up in Leavenworth, Kansas. It's also a military town. That's how my family got there. My dad was Army. Grew up in Leavenworth, poor kid. My mom luckily championed sports. Like, she didn't care what sport I did. I was going to do a sport.
That's basketball country, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But Midwest is also wrestling country.
Yeah.
And wrestlers, we don't like or care to talk about the basketball.
Same season, I get it.
Same season. They get all the hype.
Yep.
They get women. No one cares to see grown men in singlets.
I
understand
around,
it, but
sweaty
it still
butt.
hurts inside.
Yeah.
So I played every sport I could get my hands on. When I grew up, I had my wall was covered in athletes, and not just like your Michael Jordans and Frank Thomas's, but I had the '96 Olympic gymnast teams. I had my Dominic Dawes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I loved every and any sport. I used to go to the school library and steal the Sports Illustrated posters out of them.
Yeah. I did too, but mine was back in '84, and it's the Mary Lou Retton shoe. Yeah.
So I was obsessed with all sports, played everything. Like I said, grew up a poor kid, so again, the nutrition education is not great. Mm-hmm. So we ate whatever we could afford, never really thought about it. I was always big, but I was always athletic and played sports. So
what do you mean, like big? It's like just always stocky?
Yeah, I mean, I was stocky. I remember, I guess I was a fat kid. I guess I was a fat kid. I remember one time a kid.
Were the jeans that you wore, were they husky?
Oh yeah, I didn't shop in the kids' clothes. About 12, I graduated out of shopping in the kids section, which hurt because at that time Walmart didn't have a cool section. Like, now you can go to Walmart and get the same thing.
Right.
That wasn't a thing when I was a kid. They knew you shopped at Walmart. I remember as a kid when I was a fat kid and a kid said, "No offense, but you're chubby." And it was the best compliment I had gotten in a long time. I was like, "Oh, I'm chubby. Wow. Look at me being all chubby."
I mean, that kid is saying, "No offense."
Yeah, but, no offense. Nothing taken.
But you got a crooked nose. Okay.
Oh, what a gentleman that kid was. I hope he's doing well. Thank you for that compliment. But yeah, grew up sports. Sports, honestly, the only thing that kept me going through high school. I wouldn't have graduated, to be honest. I had no motivation. The only motivation I had was I had to keep a certain GPA to play sports.
Is that right?
That's what I did. Started wrestling my sophomore year. Fell in love with that. Of course, everyone plays football.
So sophomore year, what were you wrestling at? What class?
It's 275 in high school.
Yeah.
So it's still heavyweight.
So you were heavyweight.
I almost fell in love with that. I almost quit.
Yeah.
I thought it was something I'd be good at. And my first 3 matches, got pinned. I got pinned by the kid with the face mask. No one wants to lose to the face mask.
To the face mask guy.
I got pinned. And my 4th match, I was getting pinned again.
Yeah.
I was on my back, and my coach started screaming, "Roll over, he's high," which is a thing
Yeah.
a lot for opening when you just start out.
Right.
And I rolled over and happened to pin the guy, and that set it off, and I didn't lose another match that season.
No kidding.
I think I lost one. I beat him, he beat me once. So we
I love that. But yeah, right on the verge of saying,
Yeah,
I'm going to pick something else.
if I got pinned that last one, it was over. I don't think I would.
No
My ego
kidding.
couldn't take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I had no plans of going to college. I was done with school.
Yeah.
Kind of bored with it. So until my friend, another wrestler, Sean Bunch, was like, "Chris, you going to college?" I was like, "No, I'm just going to get a job. I'm done with that." He's like, "You should go." I didn't take no SAT, SAT, or any of that. I've done zero preparation.
Yeah.
Terrible GPA. He's like, "You should go to Neosho Community College." And I was like, "Oh, I have a terrible GPA. I haven't taken anything." He's like, "They'll take anybody."
Yeah.
And he was right.
I think he was right.
So I was there 2 years, went to Missouri Valley College, wrestled there. Again, I was burnt out on wrestling
Yeah.
after community college, and I wanted to quit.
Now, were you still wrestling at community college?
Yeah, so I wrestled there. I got a scholarship to community college to wrestle there. I was burnt out on it.
Nice. So you're getting scholarships.
Yeah, I was
left and
getting
right.
scholarships. I was getting school paid for. Again, my mom was smart, loving sports. She knew she wasn't paying for college.
That was the ticket.
And she knew that I could go further in life, really applying to sports. So she pushed it a lot, and it worked, and she was right. But yeah, I got a scholarship to Neosho. Wrestled there. I was really burnt out. High school wrestling and college is a very big difference, and and that season just drained me.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go to a school, Fort Hayes, that I could party at and wrestle a little bit for scholarship.
Sure.
But yeah, but ended up going to Missouri Valley College, and that was whatever. The people there just, I don't know, rekindled that spark in wrestling. So
Really?
actually tried.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, did you notice a difference, like when your heart was in it?
Yeah. Oh
compared to
yeah.
what-
Oh yeah.
Like results wise.
Yeah, for sure. Like just training. So I started going to bed early. I didn't drink. Like, these are amazing things. Most humans are like, whatever. But
Yeah.
for me, I had the bedtime. I didn't drink during season. Like, it was a huge change for me. And again, that was, I wish I knew now what I know then, but that was putting forth effort.
Right.
Now I put forth way more effort for nothing. No one cares.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one's paying me to do it.
Right.
But I try so much harder now.
But the reward is the same. Then,
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The reward
intrinsically.
is mental,
Yeah.
me clapping for myself most of the time, but I'm okay with that.
So you had mentioned when we were talking earlier that you kind of work at 285 to 300 for the season.
Yeah.
And then off season you'd kind of trickle up a little bit.
Wrestlers, we're known for a couple things. Being extremely douchey, which is true. But also, usually in the off season, we balloon up.
Yeah.
When you have to be so restrictive, and be honest, they cut weight not a
During the
smart way. I hope it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Has it? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we have a lot more information out now.
Right.
How to cut weight a more healthy way.
Yeah.
I doubt they use it.
Yeah. Well, you were probably you're a lot younger than I, but the body suits just sweated
Trash
out.
bags, which are illegal.
Yeah.
So I've never seen it happen.
Right. Right.
No one ever did this.
No.
But I heard that they would put the trash bags on underneath the sweats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
tape up the sleeves.
Yep.
And
And just sweat it all out.
sweat it all out a day, which for performance-wise is just a terrible thing to do. If I'm
for
a
sure.
coach,
For sure.
I cut 25 pounds in 3 days one time. Yeah.
insane.
To be honest, I'm a bigger guy, which is easier for me. Some of these people are cutting that, in 2 or 3 weeks, and they're
Right.
at less body fat.
Yeah, 185.
I could sweat out 10 pounds
Yeah.
in a practice. But yeah, I mean, my performance, I'm like, this is stupid. Why would anybody do such a hard-nosed sport, dehydrated and hungry?
Right.
But yeah, I about 285, and I balloon up to usually like 315. Then preseason kicks in, drop back down with no problem, no try.
Yeah.
Really easy. That happened every season. And then my senior year, I ballooned up to 350. And again, I never really changed my nutrition. I would do Atkins. I don't even know what Atkins is. I stopped eating carbs and sugar.
Right. Right. Right.
But I ate, how much and whatever I want. Blew up 350, and I expected to drop off quickly. It did not that time. So, again, never applied it as much to my diet. We're taught it's exercise.
Exercise, right? It's just sweat it out.
Yeah, it's not that I'm eating terrible or what I'm eating or how much I'm eating. It's just that I'm not exercising enough, which is ridiculous from a wrestler standpoint.
Sure, sure.
But then after the season, after the year at college wrestling, I did nothing. My girlfriend at the time was in college still, so I was still there and I was helping coaching out. But mostly, I was a professional drinker and watcher of UFC fights and 25-cent wing nights and $3 pitcher nights. So I ballooned up to, I was probably 4-something when I left there. Moved to Florida in 2008. Took about 7-8 months to find a job. Again, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Ballooned up before I found a job. Didn't have a scale heavy enough to weigh me, so I don't know what I weighed around that time. Friends, people who knew me then, like, now you were bigger and you've lost weight since the first time I was able to weigh myself.
Yeah.
I weighed a modest 496.
496.
I rounded up to 500 because it's, I mean, no one's impressed by 496.
No.
500.
You're going to go for it. Go for it.
Add the fractional plates. Don't do 496. Yeah. You go 500.
Yeah.
So I was 496 when I first, but all that time I was doing nothing.
I mean, were you aware? Were you uncomfortable?
So I was uncomfortable, and it's a very weird feeling because when you have extra fat, people have extra fat on them. It's you know, it gets in your way. You don't like it. You don't like the way it looks, but it still feels like you.
Yeah.
When you hit a certain weight, it's no longer you. It doesn't feel like you. It literally feels like you're wearing a suit.
Really?
You can feel the difference. It almost feels like you feel the difference between your musculatory system and the fat that's sitting on top of you. Huh. Like, it's a very odd. So it's weird if you watch like my 600-pound life where they talk about it doesn't feel like me, it's not me. It doesn't feel like you. It feels like there's something sitting on you, and you feel the very difference because I mean it's just sitting there not helping anything. It's just weighing you down, heating you up.
Yeah, I mean there must be some sort of a sensory thing.
It feels like it feels like all the nerves and the fat tissue it feel like there's nothing there.
Wow.
It feels like it's just in your way.
Yeah.
You move around, you can feel it and everything, but everything feels in your way. It's a very odd feeling. So then I started doing jiu-jitsu first, and I'm happy when I'm
jiu-jitsu. Who's rolling around with you, man?
I'm happy. So that's part of why I quit jiu-jitsu because I had to have wrestling background, and I was a big guy, but I was mobile for my size.
Yeah.
And I had the wrestle, so I didn't lay on people, I didn't squish people. I was very nice, and everybody, ironically, they'd tell me you were the gentlest roll at 496 because I didn't want to crush people.
Yeah.
I like jiu-jitsu. I like the chess match of it. I can lay on people and hold them down all day long.
Right.
But yeah, did jiu-jitsu, but I couldn't go hard in jiu-jitsu because of that reason.
Yeah.
I was way bigger than everybody.
So you weren't getting the push.
The push. And again, a wrestler, so I'm an idiot mindset, and I want to aggressively go at things when I work out.
Right.
So a CrossFit gym opened up nearby, and actually one of the guys I was doing jiu-jitsu with, his wife went to the gym, Michelle and Steve Smith. And
this here in Florida? Or where's
this was here in Florida. Okay. This was here. Gator CrossFit opened up, moved over by the jiu-jitsu studio I was at, and Aaron was owning it at the time.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I would have neandered around CrossFit a long time because I saw it on TV, and I saw people doing Olympic weightlifting. And I did that all since high school, and I was like,
oh really? I
was like, okay, I'm gonna try that someday, just because you don't see Olympic weightlifting anywhere.
No.
But the Olympics at the time,
Correct.
before that.
Correct.
So I was like, I'll do that one day just because it looks fun. And she took the wheel. She's like, oh, you want to do it? And she was like, yeah. And then she's like, I already gave the guy your number. He expects you to call him.
Here we go.
All right. So went in there. I did one class. I was like, oh, yeah, this is what I'm going to do now. This is it. I can go as hard as I want.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect anybody. But when I started CrossFit, I was 460 pounds.
Oh, so you're
a modest 460.
So we were talking. He said, like, there comes a point, like an aha moment where you're like, you know what, something's got to change.
Yeah.
And so what was that for you?
So, yeah, I love when I talk to people who've lost weight, they all have an aha moment.
Yeah.
And it's usually something very insignificant and stupid to most people.
Right.
Like I had a friend that she shopped at a store and she always wore this size. And when she went to size 22, she said, oh, no, now I'm a fat
That's the
person.
number.
That's the number. I can't do it anymore. So for mine was, So I don't. I have friends that lost weight, and they had a emotional component where they would emotionally eat when they were sad and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have the emotional component. To be honest, I was a very happy person, and I knew I was fat and bigger, but I had body dysmorphia. I thought I looked not that bad.
Yeah.
The picture. I don't think I looked as bad as I did. I wouldn't see my true self until I see pictures.
Yeah.
So I was going to CrossFit in the gym, and like I said, it feels different. So every time I'm working out, I feel like I'm getting cheated because I know I'm better, and I'm just wearing a fat suit that you're not. So I was like, I can do better. I can do more than that.
Yeah.
But I have this suit on me. Even it's my actions, my behavior. I did it to myself, but it doesn't feel like you anymore. So
Right.
I was bigger, and I don't remember if I started coaching Olympic weightlifting at the time. But one of the guys who now is a terrible person, we all know, but he was talking about buying it, and he goes, I want you to coach CrossFit. And just that little bit of
confidence or belief.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can't stand in front of people. I can do it with Olympic weightlifting for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't mind. But I was like, I don't think I can confidently coach someone and tell them what to do when I can't do it myself. So that was a big thing. That was just like, oh, well, now I need to lose weight because if I'm going to be in front of people telling them what to do, I should at least be able to demonstrate it somewhat.
You felt it upon you that I need to walk the walk.
Yeah,
I just can't sit here and tell you what to do.
Exactly.
I need to do it myself.
Didn't exactly be able to show you. So that kind of was my point. Just someone saying, "Oh, you're possibly going to coach CrossFit class," and I was like, "Oh well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at my size."
Yeah.
But so mine. I was a fan of my 600-pound life at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was maybe I was going for the show. I was almost there.
Yeah, you were.
I almost made it. But I like to watch it. And I was like, oh, let me see what diet they do. And it said 1,200 calories. And this is my whole life of going through sports and having to lose weight and gain weight. I really didn't know what a calorie was. We hear about it and
that's crazy. As a collegiate, he's a wrestler.
You hear about it. And at the time, it was a stigma of you thought it was something, when they talk about it, it was always about women losing weight. And I was like, oh, calories, no, pay zero attention to it. And then I look up, they put him on this kind of calorie diet. So I'm like, well, what's that? So I looking up calorie. And it kind of blew my mind because I'm such a practical brain that it could be a formula.
Yeah.
My body is using this many calories. If I eat this many calories, if it's less, I lose this much weight. Like the fact that I can kind of almost make it a science.
Calculate it.
Yeah. Really made complete sense to me. So I was like, oh, well, that's easy. So then I did everything wrong.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, fine, 800 calories a day.
Hey.
So for 2 or 3 months at 400.
Fair is rolling her eyes right now.
Yeah. I did not eat the banana.
Yeah, exactly.
800 calories a day. And I did that for 2 or 3 months. I would have kept going, but my strength dropped.
Oh, for sure.
Like in a month, like 100 pounds. I couldn't squat 400 anymore. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I should eat more calories. So I bumped it up to the modest 1,200.
Yeah.
Which was enough, evidently, to keep my strength somewhat up, I guess. I don't know, or just not notice it.
Yeah.
So I did that for 8 months or so and lost about 180 in the first year or so. It just melted off me.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I tell people that losing that weight is the easy part. It's so easy. Oh, man. To eat like a human being and lose weight, that's basically all you have to do.
Right.
If I eat 3,000 calories a day, I'm going to drop a ton of weight without even trying. It's when you get down and have to dial it in and really get to Bob Urana level. That's high science.
That's high science. You don't want to know my diet.
If I have to actually pay attention that close, I'm out. I can't. Well, I try to, but I'm not there yet.
Well, I think one of the advantages you had was that athletic background and that muscular memory, and your ability to use that frame to burn the calories.
Oh yeah, and that's.
So how long have you had that weight off of you?
I got down to about 300 within the first year. So I was really
that guy.
I was happy. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
I think we could all agree, like, looking at that side by side, the most impressive transformation is the haircut.
I was just
That's
you
really...
you took it right out of my mouth.
I wasted all this time dieting and exercising, and all I need to do is probably just shave my head. Yeah, that was... I would go back, I'd hug that guy and say, shave your head.
I didn't send Elio the wrestling one. I think you were wearing some sort of pink mask and a movement
my luchador mask. Yes, my luchador mask.
Yes. It's a good look.
Yeah, I was killing it, killing the game. It was fun. So this is fine. I had body dysmorphia. I have body dysmorphia in both those pictures because I still have it, and I don't see myself until I see pictures. Like I can see the real me when I see pictures.
Yeah.
But on the left was just as happy and confident and thought he was a shit as a guy on the right did.
It's weird because it can go both ways.
Yeah.
You're right. You have body dysmorphia, not seeing, and then just the opposite. Like I'll have it too, and I was like, oh man, I've lost all my muscles. I feel weak. There's such a psychological aspect to it,
and to now where I'm really happy with my body. Like, of course, there's things I don't want to change. I just want to be a lighter weight because I want muscle ups.
Because you want okay, well, that's good. It's a performance. Yeah, it's a performance goal, not necessarily an aesthetic goal.
So that's my aesthetics, and I'm happy. That would have been the worst thing to see my tits on the internet. Would have been the scariest thing of my life at the time. Like the one on the left, who has arguably sweeter tits. Yeah. Does not want those to be on there.
That's a D. That's a D.
Oh, I solidly definitely had some double Ds. Like I didn't have the confidence to put a bra on and test, but guaranteed Daddy was killing the game. On the right, I mean, I probably still have them. They just hang low like testicles, so they're not as good. But completely fine and happy. Like that's what I'm going to look like, and I'm like, I'm happy and I'm satisfied, and I love that.
Well, and maybe the difference is longevity now.
Yeah.
At 500 pounds, it's asking a lot, of our organ system to keep this mechanism going.
One thing. Everybody, I feel like there's a superhuman under every 500 pounds. I was doing max effort lifts every day, getting out of bed. Like, I get tired standing in the kitchen cooking. My back would hurt, blow up. And I'm like, of course you're having a deadlift 500 pounds every day.
Well, that's it. Every step is like doing a yoke.
A max effort lift.
Yeah.
But I had another point that I now forgot. We were talking about my tits.
Yeah, I got a little sidetracked there too.
Got confused.
So something we were talking about earlier too, and it's near and dear to my heart is your previous position at.
Yes. So I was child welfare case manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, child welfare case manager for 2-3 years. Loved that job.
Yeah.
I loved it. I did that one at 460 pounds. I started 496, got to 460.
While you were there.
Yeah. Loved it. I mean, it is not for everybody. And when I got there, my supervisor was like, enjoy small victories. And that's basically what keeps you going. That's
the sage advice, because it's the stories that you see, and then with kids.
Yeah. And it's I don't care about the parents as much. I want the parents to do well because the kids care about you.
Right.
But you're an adult who, honestly, you probably had trauma and had the same situations, but now you're at a level to where society and the world kind of doesn't care anymore. You hit that age to where you need to kind of just do.
Yeah.
And I have my stupid wrestler mentality of just stop whining and do, which I don't like anymore. And I try to say to people, I don't want to discredit someone's history, but you do kind of have to move forward.
Yeah.
However you get that help, you have to start moving forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kids are what I like and what was more motivating to the parents. And again, it's sad, horrendous stories, but usually at the end of all my cases, did they work out how you like them? Absolutely not. But was a kid in a better place?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was a kid in a happier place? Not always, because no matter what the trauma, kids love their parents.
That's crazy.
You're not going to take it. You could do the worst thing to that kid, and he's still going to love you and want your love. But they were in a better place for them, and they were going to end up being better. So yeah, but adoption, I'm all for. Love, it's fantastic. I'll champion that.
Yeah, I told you my brother and his wife just adopted too.
They're great.
Her a really tough story.
Oh,
but I'm sure that is like that's common. That's what you were working with day in, day out.
Oh yeah, it was very, very common. But I mean, again, it was very fun for me. I liked moving. I liked interacting with the kids, even though I don't know how to interact with kids. My mom never spoke to us like children. I was the youngest of 3.
You're one big kid. What are you talking about?
And I think that's where I get it from. I'm a man child, so it worked out. But like, I tell people, once they got to be able to talk, and then I can communicate with them.
Yeah.
A toddler, a baby, I'm just like,
yeah, I get that.
It's a less cute puppy.
It's a less cute puppy.
Hey, what am I going to do with this thing?
And I got to change it.
Yeah, I can't lock it in. Luckily, the women I worked with, there was a side with a lot of older women that just worked in the office. And they're like, Chris, you get a baby, just bring it to this side. So
that's
the
it.
baby would come in, I'd set it there, and they'd have it for the 8 hours and do everything, and then I'd come get it and take it somewhere else. I had like 30 minutes time with the baby, so it was perfect for me.
We could rub off on it.
Yeah.
Hey, so
rub off's the wrong for when I'm talking about child welfare, but I get it.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah.
Hey, I got 2 more questions for you.
Yes.
First question: have you ever run up to a challenge or an obstacle or faced a failure that at the time you felt like, you know what, this is I can't get over this, is the trajectory of my life is not looking very good at this point, but yet somehow you found a way to overcome that or get around it, and you look back now like, I'm really glad and blessed that I went through that, because now I wouldn't be where I was today if not for it.
So I champion failure. I like it because I can relate everything I failed at to now, whether it's my mindset or whether it's where I'm actually at in life. I can tie it back to a failure that I had from in college, getting arrested for fighting, where I was going to go to the school I was going to go to and just drink and party at. They dropped me because I got arrested. So I had to go to this other college, and where my spark came back for wrestling, and I'm literally where I am now, sitting here in front of you because of that.
That's great.
Even with child welfare, the job I used to have, I loved. Adoption. I adopted one of the kids on my caseload for myself. I thought I was special and I was different. I wasn't. It was a kid. I adopted a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
So he was having all the issues and everything. So I ended up getting arrested. He told them that he would tell people I'm beating them, I'm hitting them. I'd have child welfare in the house and everything. Everybody knows it's teachers. So I'm in the community, so I know what to do. You keep the kid as visible as possible.
Yeah.
But they drop everything. But I still lose that job.
Yeah.
And a job I loved and everything. So I'm unemployed for this. Honestly, I was still doing CrossFit, worked out. That kept me motivated and everything. Still working out. I've never hit only time I can remember myself really being depressed is not working out. There's a time in my life where I didn't work out. Anytime I'm exercising, I'm like, well, stuff's getting better. Yeah. But I think I honestly always march forward. You hit a wall, you hit a low, I get up and I'm like, well, I'll like where I'm at in a year.
Yeah.
As long as I keep moving and working towards stuff, I'll like where I'm at.
You gotta keep working.
It's worked for me to where I'm like, I don't like this right now, but I'm not taking it, so I'll like where I'm at in a year.
Yeah.
And it's always worked out.
Yeah. No, I think that's sound advice for all of us.
Yes.
Last question. If you could pick one exercise to do for the rest of your life, only one exercise, what would it be, Chris?
So I tried to cheat. Try to choose a kettlebell, and so because I can do 50,000 exercises.
That's taking some liberties.
That was cheating. So honestly, I have a hard day at work, and I need my gym therapy. The weird thing is the movement I picture myself doing is cleans. I'm like, I need to do some cleans. I need to go to the gym. I always picture myself doing cleans.
Yeah.
And it's just, I like the grace and beauty of movements most of the time in general, especially Olympic weightlifting.
Yeah.
It would be a snatch if I didn't suck at it. If I had better shoulder and ankle mobility, I would say the snatch, but mine's not graceful, but my clean is. So it would have to be, I can go heavy, I can go light, I can go,
well, you're right. You change the you change the rep and the intensity and
dynamic.
You get different.
Yeah, like it feels fluid. If people do it right, it feels very graceful. And I don't know why I like that very.
It's almost like a dance.
Yeah, that graceful movement, seeing it and doing it, I love it. So it would definitely be a clean.
I like it. My man, thank you very much for joining us and sharing that
Thank you for
pretty amazing story,
tips
man.
on the internet.
I had
I appreciate
that
it.
one's for all you guys.
Ladies, if you want to slide into the DMs, I am single.
There we go. Hey, where do we get a hold of you there?
Yeah, I was say, clinically obese on Instagram.
Clinically obese. I like it.
Oh yeah, OBEAST.
Yeah.
I love that one. That's like the best.
That's awesome.
That's the
man.
coolest thing I've done in my life. That's the adversity. I'll let to that handle.
I like that. Well, again, and thank you for joining us this week. And I hope that, after hearing this, one takeaway you can take is this. Yeah, you're going to run up against a wall. You're going to run up against obstacles, but just keep going. Okay, that obstacle, that doesn't define you. And the exciting thing is, on the other side of that is something amazing. And not to mention, you can, once you go through it, you can look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm stronger than that. And that confidence pushes you on. You guys have a great week. Bam!
Thanks.